Hey guys, it's me. Just thought I would do a tutorial on, not really a tutorial, but show you guys how I do my beadwork. I tried to do a few attempts already, but it just crashed. So let's see if it will be nice this time. I'll put you on my little stand here. This is my table here. Okay, this is my table. This is my beadwork. I'm doing a bear paw right now. So basically, I was showing how to do the backing, but stupid internet decided to crash out on me, so that's not my fault. So basically, all I do is I pick up my beads that are on here, pick up all my glass beads, and I try to do as many as I can get on the needle. I don't know what's going on with this iPad lately. It's been really, my iPad's been acting up crazily. It's starting to kind of piss me off, but oh well. So that's your beads. And I tack mine, and I go like this. I already started, as you can see, so, because I don't like to, when I do my beadwork, I really do not like to waste time with my beadwork. I'll take breaks and everything, but I will not, like, legit, for whatever reason, waste time. So if I have too many, I just take some off, and then I tack those down later. So basically what you do is you go like this. I'll pull you up a little bit here. This might be a little wonky, but it's okay. I'm sure you guys can handle the drama. Basically, I line it up here. This tacks the beads down, so basically you just go like this. So see, I'll show you. So basically, those are your line of beads, and you just tack them down. Go like that. That, and keep tacking it down. And then, like I said, when you're done that, you can automatically take your little bit of beads that you couldn't incorporate the first time, then you start tacking those down. Take your warp thread again. My room's a mess. Don't mind it. So what you do is you just go like this. See, this is a way easier view too. I don't know why I didn't get this before. Alright, so you just go like that. Keep tacking it. This is Native American beading in its most authentic, I guess you could call it. Whatever word you prefer to use, whatever word suits your fancy. Okay. And next video, I'm going to be doing a video of me jingle dress dancing. If you guys want to stay tuned for that, this will be right after this. I'll be uploading 2 videos tonight. I'm intending to upload 2 videos. First one will be me beadworking, and then the second one will be me dancing jingle. I dance contemporary jingle, so yeah, I don't believe that there's a right or wrong way to dance. I just will show you how I practice and how I dance, because dancing is healing, it's life, it's prayer, and we all need prayers in life at some point, right? No matter what the occasion is, we all need prayers, and every time I bead, I try to be in a good place, because beadwork requires a positive mind. It requires positivity and patience and attention to care and detail. And so this, I'm going to sell this. This will be a fully beaded bear paw medallion. I'm going to sell this, try and see how much I can get for it. If you guys are interested, feel free to leave a comment. I wouldn't consider them too expensive on my part, but that's just me. Depends on what your financial state is. Everyone's got their own financial state. That's the truth of it. So let's just keep beading. So I line it up like that. See? Then you just tack it down right there. So like that. Kind of pull it a little bit, and you tack that down right there. There you go. That's all there is to it. Nothing fancy. Of course, you guys are probably like, oh my goodness, that's so cool. I never considered beadworking intricate. Depends on, but I guess that really depends on what you're trying to do. I guess that really depends on what you're trying to do. So, but for me, you see how I'm flying through this because I've been doing this for, oh, creator knows how long. Like, beadworking itself, I've been doing this for almost 6 years now. I just learned to needle beadwork last year, and I'm so blessed to know that I've come this far in all of my various so-called talents. I never brag about my beadwork though. I have never bragged about my beadwork or my sewing skills. I don't believe in bragging. If someone says I'm good, thank you, I'm good. I take that to heart. But I never brag because there's no such thing as bragging in my culture. We take things with a humble heart. Those who say otherwise need their teachings. Alright, so just keep going at it. We're making good time. It hasn't even stopped me yet, so that's good. I'm at almost a full percent of battery life, so that's why I'm not worried about the amount of time I'm taking. And it's only like 11 o'clock at night, 10 o'clock, or no, I think it's more like 11 or 12 now actually, but oh, who cares. This is how I make money off the side, is beadwork. You just slowly start to get it tacked in. Eventually becomes second nature to the point where you don't even think about it. It just comes naturally to tack the beads in and get them set. So you try to use your finger and the tension to pull the beads to where you need them to go. And then you use that needle, the tightness of the thread, to tack your beads down. That's the most important thing I find, is tacking your beads down and making sure that they don't even have to be perfect. There's no such thing as perfect. I'm sure people with OCD could say different, but I don't have OCD. One of my family members has several of my family members have OCD, and the fact that my beads are never like perfectly aligned would drive them insane. But I told them only creator can be perfect, but they're just like only creator can make perfect beadwork. No, beadwork itself is a beautiful art, but it's something that you definitely cannot expect to master overnight. Like I said, I've been beadworking for about 6 to 7 years. I learned, and it's funny because I started with necklaces. I did small little like single bead necklaces and bought little pendants and strung them on, strung beads onto sinew and made necklaces. And then eventually I wanted to learn how to bead on leather, and that came slowly after. And then it's just, here I am, just beading fully beaded medallions. But I'm very happy I have these gifts. I call them gifts. A lot of natives would consider beadworking a gift that you are given, that you work on. We're all born with gifts. Some people might say, oh, I don't have any talents. You'll have a talent. You have a talent somewhere. You have to find it. Every human being has a talent, I believe anyway. So we're slowly getting on here. See, it to the point where it's just like, for me, I can even just get her down and not even have to consider the beads. The only thing that could probably stop me is the bead thread tangling, which nylon thread does not tangle that often, so it's a nice thought. But I'm gonna have to start getting more beading threads soon. See, if it's not completely aligned, just kind of use your fingernail and kind of move it over. You won't do anything to it. So you attach more beads onto your thread, spacing them out doesn't hurt either. So far, so good. Try not to add too many, because then you gotta worry about them all lining up properly. We'll call this video part 1. How's that sound, people? How's that sound? Part 1 of my video series beadwork and stuff. Yeah, sorry about the last few videos and me taking so long. I just needed to find something to... I needed a small break from YouTube, but I also needed to realize what I needed to do, and... yeah, it's been a busy month for me. But, I'm trying my best to keep myself busy. Yeah. See, the two-needle applique was introduced to the First Nations peoples when we started learning how to bead, because we didn't invent two-needle beading. It was two-needle beading. There's actually, I don't remember what I know I read the history about where it's, I think it came, I could be wrong, but I think it came from, I know it's European in origin. I just can't remember what part of Europe it's from. But I'm sure you guys, if you guys ever find it in the mood to do that, I'm sure you guys are more than capable of researching the origins of two-needle beadwork. If there's an area of the beads that is too wide, don't even get scared. Just keep beading and maneuver your hands. Really, just maneuver your hands and really figure out where these beads are gonna go. See this? These are, I don't think my camera's gonna focus well enough, but these are cut glass beads. When you work with these beads in particular, do not use cotton thread whatsoever. Guaranteed your thread will break. Always use nylon thread with these. I'll show you what kind of beads to use cotton thread for is the best. Cotton thread is very, I wouldn't say it's highly sought of, but it's a nice addition because it's natural, it's from the earth. So I consider it a great treat when I can say I even beat it with cotton thread. Personally, that's my opinion. Because I can't always say that with beadwork. And if there's ever a time when your beads are loose, don't worry and give it a tug. Give it a small tug. Use your pinky and then pull it. Make your fingers like a sewing machine for those of you who sew or anything or have that sewing talent. And yes, you do need a basic knowledge of sewing to do some beadwork. Learning to use a single thread is a good start for beginners who are too scared to try two-needle. Two-needle I find is a bit more of an advanced form of beadwork. Nothing wrong with it, it's just it takes a bit more to practice because you really have to know your tension and where your fingers need to go. And learn how to pull and tighten the thread. I'm almost done this. I'm not done, but I'm gonna try and line every single piece here. So it's still on, that's awesome. I'm gonna try and make this video 20 minutes, the first one. And then I'll continue beadworking, and then if you guys want, I'll teach you how to fill it into how I fill my bear paws in. I have a few other medallions I gotta do, but I gotta get my otter ties soon. But yeah, it's I got my eagle feathers. I have someone who might be working on my feather fan and amping it up, which is fantastic. I'm so blessed to have that going on. That's probably gonna happen soon. I'm hoping. Right. So, and what I like to do is, this is how I finish my beadwork off. Let's see if that's gonna work the way I want it to, or the way I'm expecting it to. So, I think actually this could use a small bead right here. So, that bead, and then that bead. Try that. Try those two. Yeah, get some. Alright, so what we do is, okay, we're at the end. So basically what you do is you actually take this here. I don't know if you can see that. Then there's that. Then what you do is you actually go through a few beads down here. Kind of push up a little bit. It won't hurt the beads. You pull through. And then what happens is if you pay attention, unlike me, you allow your beads to get, okay, here we go. You pull through and then eventually it just all connects naturally. Then what you do after that is you take your beading stuff here and then you go like this. And you tack it down right against that bead. And then what you do is then you take this here, this little loose piece here, and then you actually tack this down as well. It's important to tack this down because this is actually wrapping up your beadwork on this side. So you go like that, then I see where I need to connect that side, and then, alright, go like that, try and get it close to the edge here. And then one more just to be safe because I know how my beadwork is. It likes to be bulky. So you go like that, you take that down. Okay, now I like to pull it because it helps keep it kind of straight, and you kind of maneuver these beads, and then voila, there you go. There's that we just did within about 20 minutes. And that's what it looks like from the back, all stitched on. Now what you do is you find your long bead. You find your long bead, and actually this is gonna have to be the long bead now because will this even fit through here? Oh yeah, it'll be fine. Okay, this will have to be your long bead now because this thread's longer. A little trick I do: if your warp thread, the thread that goes here, becomes the short end, and the other thread becomes the long end, use this to tack the beads down instead of cutting and rethreading. So just thought I would share that with you. It's a little tidbit I kind of had to maneuver around a few times. Not gonna lie. Okay. So basically what we're gonna do is we are going to fill it up. And like I said, I'm gonna try and make this a 20-minute video, so I'll probably make it to 21, then I'll cut it, say part 1, and then I'll say part 2, and I'm gonna see if I can make this a whole series, which means that the jingle dress dancing will have to come later if you guys decide what you want to see, but I will definitely be making this video a series. So this is the middle here. Doesn't have to be perfect. I don't believe in perfection, like I said. So when it comes to this, I tack every 3 beads down the middle. So like this. I like to tack every 3 beads because it definitely holds in better. So you go like this. That, you pull it nicely, and you tack it. And like I said, this side is every 3 beads. So every time you're on surf, it's a line. Just kind of take your finger off, pull the thread a little bit, and then to see where it is. So, here we go. And try not to jolt or tug your thread in, like, or try not to be rough with your thread, because guaranteed if you do become rough with your thread, it will tangle. So if you're nice and if you're respectful to your supplies and you treat it with kindness, that spirit, that energy will reflect, and all of your supplies will just fall into line that way. Tacking every 3 beads is a slightly lazier way to do it, but if you do it right, your beads won't even matter how tight your beads are, because it'll still look really, really nice. But like I said, it does depend on how often, see what I mean? Like if you tug and if it looks good, you just pinch it, and then you start beading again. This is what a lot of native bead workers do, especially when you're a 2-needle bead worker. Oh darn, it's kind of stuck. Hold on. Darn it. That's what happens when you mess up you don't pay attention again. So what you do is you can easily fix that too. Just go like that, thread it, done. Okay, like I said, you pull it, that, you tack it down. You just keep tacking it down, so just keep pulling and tacking, pulling and tacking. That's all you gotta do, is pull and tack. It's gotten to the point where I don't even need like to measure things out anymore. Like I'm just so used to it that it just doesn't even come to mind. And when I want to make bigger medallions, I use objects that have a big, like a bigger circumference. Like let's say like this shape, this round shape. I didn't freehand this. I actually traced it off of an old DVD that's too scratched to play, but it works. So why not, right? So like just keep pulling on the beads. Your beads won't actually get stuck. They just get knotted. See what I mean? Like nice, decent line of beads. Then once they start colliding with other rows, it'll just start collecting on its own. Yeah. So it's just all you gotta do is just keep bead working. This we can see if I can stretch this to a 30-minute video. If it cuts out, it cuts out. So we'll work on it from there. If it cuts out anyway. So alright, so if it's too long, try to give it your best guess on how much you need to have it. So right about there. So it's good. So take the extra off. Bead that down. Tack that down. And then slowly start to apply it. Okay. And actually, I think, see here. I think I could fit like a broken bead in there, that's what I call them. Or even a longer bead, like just take these 2 last ones out. And then give it slightly longer beads. It happens when you need longer beads, it'll happen. Okay, there we go. Try that. And then, okay, yep, that works. Okay, now just tack that down. Oh, I think I messed up. It's okay. If you mess up, you mess up. It happens. Beadwork is not perfect. So just take another little tiny bead, even if it's a small one. Try and find a reasonable area to put it. There we go, that's better. Okay, here we go. That'll do it. So then, again, tack the beads down. And so it's not a perfect line yet. Oh my gosh, how did I miss all that? Oh no, did I really skip all that? Ooh, I skipped too much. We'll fix it, we'll fix it. It happens. I'm not perfect. But this is basically what happens, like, bead workers make it look so easy, and yes, it can be easy at times, but that does not mean that we particularly acknowledge that it's gonna be hard. Oh, did I ever skip quite a few steps? That's not good. And now it's stuck. I don't know how it actually did that, but it did. So, like I said, I don't know how it did that, but I don't know. We'll fix it. So let's just get this tightened here. I skipped the whole bead, bro. I'm kind of... Oh, I know what happened. That one of the tacks that holds the paper down confused me a little bit. Like I said, it happens. It does. Okay, there we go. We're back on business now. There we go. So I'll just pull that. We all good. We're good. We're good. Okay, what we're gonna do is again go back up. I would say right here. Yeah. And then keep beating. Okay. So then you go like that. There's a million ways to bead medallions, but I find this one the most resourceful, personally. I'm gonna try something out here. Hold on. I'm gonna try something out here. It's not the safest thing for me to do, but at least I wouldn't have to worry about adding beads on. That's another 5 more. Sometimes, if I'm lucky enough, it actually lines up. Other times, I can't see it the same way. Alright, so we're gonna go like this, and then just kind of pull this down here. So you pull it. And then you tack it. Right there. Gotcha. So just keep working this down. I don't really bead like this that often, but yeah, try new things, right? So far it's working though, which is good. Might save me a few extra hours. But remember one thing that I'll always have a piece of advice for you for. When it comes to beadwork, don't cheap out. Like, trust me, in the long run, your quality of stitching and all the bead, like all your beadwork quality, if you cheap out, it will definitely show in the long run where you cheaped out. Some people can successfully cheap out and no one knows, but unfortunately a lot of people, especially in my department, do notice when people cheap out, and it's not fun. Because then you ruin a good piece of work, and because it's, oh, I got Dollarama beads or something. Like, no, if you want really good beadwork, you get good beads. Even if it costs you a pretty penny. Like for me, I've even gone broke buying beads, but my beadwork stays in the quality that it's worth, and I've been told I have really good beadwork skills, and I'm just like, well, thank you. I only try my best. I try my best to pump out good beadwork, and sometimes it's better than the first attempt, but that's how it goes. Like, the first attempt at beadwork is never going to be easy. I know from personal experience. But for me, I love it. Yes, there are some days where you just like want to tear your hair out saying, oh, these darn beads. But you gotta remember, it's not the beads. It's not the beads, it's the bead worker. Beads themselves don't do anything except get tacked in. It's the bead worker's skill level that makes the beads align. And actually, if I'm correct on this is actually going to line up spot on. If this thread doesn't want to keep tangling on me, little bugger. Go. Actually, this thread lined up perfectly. Kind of surprised. Kind of, but yet not really. But it's gonna fit perfectly, so that's good. And so, the next row, see what I mean? Like, within 10 minutes, well, not 10 minutes, obviously, but within a short period of time, I did this whole entire row. But what I do like to do, and I'll show you a little something, when I know the beads are going to be popping up, I tack the last bead down, because I just get a good conscience when I do it. Go. And so there you go. It's not perfect, but it's going to look really good when it's done. I'll just take the other tack here. Oops, excuse me. That came out. Anyway, 30 minutes. This is the end of part 1. When you see part 2, the medallion will be partially finished. So thanks for watching, and I'll give you one more preview before you see the part 2. So this is the beaded bear paw medallion. I'll see you guys soon.